Hello Vikings, and welcome back to the Valheim guide, episode, I think, 19, 18, somewhere in there. It's in the title. Anyway, whatever episode it is, welcome back. As you can see behind me, we've been doing a lot of stuff in this series. I've been doing that on my live stream, and we also started on this building over here. So some things to talk about. This is going to be the storage room. I'm going to continue this on the live stream, so if you want to see more of that, you can watch my live streams, or I'll do updates in the videos after it's done. But this one here has already been done in live stream, so I'm going to talk about that. If you want to make sure you don't miss a live stream, you can join my Discord, link in the description, join notification squad, and guarantee yourself to get a ping every time I go live. Now, at the front here, I wanted to keep this kind of workshopy and plainsy, but also added these little plains garden areas around just for a bit of decoration. It makes it look kind of nice. And this here's going to be a little road that's going to go off as we expand our town. So the next thing will be obviously storage, and then we'll go on into the plains from there. Now, I'll try and take you through like a few of the design things of this, but today's episode is really going to be about the Yagluth Fight. So what I'm going to do is talk about this for a little bit and then move on to Yagluth. So what I'll try to remember to do, I'll remember, it'll be okay. I'll put a chapter in, so if you want to skip right ahead to when I start talking about Yagluth, you can do that. But if not, then you're going to stay with me, and we're going to talk about this. So we got obviously the banners here. These are circling trophies up here, just to add a little bit of design to the area and a bit of light when it turns nighttime. And we've got the windows here with the crystal glass and obviously the shutters, which is nice. We've got some of these around here as well. I might try and get a view of this at nighttime later on. Then inside here, we got some storage like built into the floor here for all our different metals and things. And we've got obviously the blast furnaces here, and the normal furnaces or smelters, whatever, just over here. And we've got this nice little fire area in here, the archway and stuff there. Decorate this a little bit. Then over this side, I've got two fully upgraded. Oh, actually, I moved my forge because I'm doing some building over there. But essentially, the forge goes in there, and we've got the workbench here, and this is all fully upgraded for the stuff that we use. Then out here is sort of actually the front of the building, and it looks a little bit different because we've got this staircase here. Don't know what happened to this wood here, but let's pick that up. And if we go up here, we've got these little torches and things. I'll actually show you this from the side view. There you go. That's what that's looking like at the moment. And again, just to light the way and add a bit of decoration. But then if we get up to the top here, it's functional because we've actually got our furnaces, fermenters up here. And I built these little thingies, wooden torches into the wood here. So we've got some light up here and that sort of thing. And we've got a nice little way of looking down here. So that's most of what there is to see, I think. I will show you the chimney around the other side. And then we've got the same decorations on the front here with some banners and certain trophies and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys like the build. If you want to see more building, I'd say the best thing to do is to try and catch my live streams. This is the chimney instantly here, where we just got like a big chimney on the side to let all the smoke out from the hearth. And it also means the building's not just like a like symmetrical building. There's something a bit different on each side, which is kind of nice. So the Yagluth Fight, guys, we are going to need a few things in order to do the Yagluth Fight, and two very important things are we're going to need to know the location of Yagluth, and we're also going to need to have 5 of the Fuling Totems. So let me show you what one of those are, and then we're going to talk about how we get this information and then how we can prepare. So these are what the Fuling Totems look like right here once you've picked them up, and you can get them from Fuling camps. Now, as you can see, I've got 2 at the moment. We're actually going to need 5 in order to spawn Yagluth in. So we're going to need 3 more, which means we're going to go and need to explore some more of the Fuling camps around the plains. Now, in order to find the Yagluth location, we're also going to need to explore the plains, because we're going to need to find ourselves the runestone, which is in the plains, that gives away his location. So basically, all of that means we are going to need to go and explore a lot of plains biomes. But before we do so, I'm going to talk to you about how to upgrade your weapons and armor and stuff like that. In a previous episode, we talked about the initial raids of Fuling camps. We got some black metal stuff, as you can see, but now if we want to take it to the next level, we are going to need to do some more upgrades. So I want to talk about a few things. If we look at the padded armor, for example, you can see what it's going to require to make, and it's actually not too bad, because it just requires some iron and some linen thread. If you want to know how to get the linen thread, you can watch my episode in this series about how to farm barley and flax, and the greaves and stuff is all the same. And you see the base armor for this is 26. Now, if I compare this to my wolf armor right now, which is fully upgraded at level 4, that's 26. So there's actually no benefit straight away, but as soon as you start to upgrade this stuff, obviously then you will have the extra armor. So at level 2 and beyond, you'll be away. Also, like some things to mention on this as well, the durability is 1,600 for this wolf armor. The durability with this one will only be 1,000. So you're actually going to have better armor, really, by sticking to the wolf unless you can upgrade. So you might want to consider that and only upgrade if you feel it is necessary to do so. Now, this is the amount of iron that I have right now, and I could upgrade if I really wanted to. However, I don't think I want want to spend my iron on this because I want to use iron for building and things like that. So I'm actually not going to upgrade my armor, but I just wanted to mention it because if you want to go fully prepared before you go raiding lots of the plains areas and Fuling villages like we're going to do later, then you do want to consider this because it might be a better option for you. So some other things we can upgrade are, of course, our shields. So you can have the black metal shield or the black metal tower shield. Now, whilst these are very good, you can see they do require a lot of chains, which means you're going to need to farm wraiths in the swamp. So this might be something that you find a little bit difficult because you're going to need 5 to make the black metal shield and 7 if you want to upgrade to the tower shield. Now, I personally quite like having the black metal shield because we can parry with it, but the black metal shield is obviously better for just taking and soaking up a lot of damage if you want to go that way. So again, these are 2 options, and it just depends how you want to fight and whether you want to make these up. Now, another weapon you could upgrade to at this point is the porcupine, and you can see here that it has a blunt of 50 and a pierce of 45. Now, if I compare that to my fully upgraded Frostner, that only has a blunt of 35, but it does also do the spirit and frost damage, and when you hit with the Frostner, it does sort of freeze your opponents briefly as well, which I find very useful against Fuling. So again, I'm actually not going to be upgrading for my Fuling raids because I think this is probably better, but even if the porcupine is a slight advantage, you're looking at 20 iron just for the level 1. So if you have a load of iron, then fair enough, you might want to go for that, but I'm going to wait until I've got like a lot more iron, I've done a lot more iron raiding before I start to upgrade these things, and also upgrading to the padded armor. So the upshot of this is that the only thing that I'm actually going to be upgrading is going to be my shield. I am going to get myself the black metal shield that I can then parry with, so there it is right there, and we've got all the stuff we need for this apart from the chain. So I'm going to go now and farm some wraiths, and we'll talk a little bit about that. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip ahead to the bit where I start to find the totems and show you their location. So before we go wraith hunting, I recommend you get your rested buff up to full. I've also got the Yagluth ability, and of course got a decent amount of food and even some potions if I need them. Well, meads. I'm still used to calling them potions. So we're going to go off to the swamp now. It is night time, which is the best time to find wraiths in the swamp, and let's see how we go. I think we need only 5 chains, and that's assuming I don't have any already, which I haven't actually checked. So we'll see how we go with this, and hopefully we can get all these in one night. Okay, I got lucky, guys, and as soon as I came to the swamp here, we have a wraith coming at us, so we're just going to go ahead and get a couple shots off at him, and then we'll just let him come and attack us, and we'll just like block him and hit him. Come on, dude, come have a go, and block, and kill. And let's see, how many chains did we get? Just 1 from him. I can't remember the exact drop rates for these. I'm not sure if it's just 1 every time or if there's a chance at more. But there we go, 1 down and at least 4 to go, but we'll get as many as we can in this night. Oh, and look at this. We've got ourselves an abomination. I will fight the abomination here because I'll show you guys a little way you can fight him. One of the best things to do is to get a load of hits off at him before he's like actively hitting you, so as soon as he spawns. But you see here, if we get right underneath him, you can actually kill him kind of easily. I'm just low on stamina right now, but if we just block a little bit and we stay underneath him, he's not able to do much to us. You'll see I'm using my sword for this as well. Sword is definitely the best to use against the abomination. And with my silver shield here, I'm blocking most of his damage. If I was using a shield that wasn't as good, then I would go ahead and get myself like out of the way of his attacks a bit more. But I know I don't need to with this kind of shield. You can see here, he's almost dead. Like 2 more hits, and you're gone. So stay underneath them, guys. You can dodge if you don't have a good shield, but if you do, you can block them. They won't actually do much damage to you. So in total, I killed 6 wraiths, and I got 6 chains, so I'm guessing it is 1 per one. But I already had 2, so we've got 8 chains right here. We've got our black metal, which is just in here, and we've also got ourselves a good amount of the linen thread as well. So we can make some of this stuff up. Might also need to smelt down some of that black metal stuff as well. So let's make up the black metal shield, I guess, for style. Let's do red and black, because I kind of like that. So let's craft that one up and see what it's going to take to upgrade this thing. So right now, let's put it next to here. We can sort of compare this. You see there, block armor 78 and a block force of 50. Our shield right now has a block armor at 72 and a block force of 50. So we are definitely higher, but just making the level 1 versus the level 3 silver, which is awesome. Now, if we want to upgrade our black metal shield, let's see. We're going to need just 2 chains, awesome, and 1 more black metal, and then we can upgrade that for the block armor of 84 and block force of 55. So we'll go ahead and do that now, and then we're going to go and start raiding some of these Fuling camps. So once you've decided on your armor and weapons and all that good stuff, as I have, the next thing obviously to think about is to take some food with you. I also highly recommend that you take the healing meads and also some stamina meads, because where we're going to be going here is around to new plains areas in order to find these plains totems, the Fuling totems that we don't yet have, and we really don't want to die when we're there. It is probably a good idea to set up a portal to each place that you go to, so you could make a bit of a spare portal at home, just call it X or something like that. And every time you get to the plains, maybe make the effort then to set up another portal there called X. In terms of the food I'm taking, this is the stuff that I'm taking with me, but it's going to largely depend on how much food you have available to you, what you have available, and your armor and weapons and that sort of thing. But just obviously wanted to make sure you guys go as geared as possible, particularly with the meads. So there are a number of structures in the plains biome where you can find a Yagluth altar, and this is one of them. So we got a little sort of Stonehenge here with some circles around it. If we hover over there, you see it says Yagluth on it, and we did this in stream last night, so we can see it's already here. And we've got a really good location, actually. It's not too far away from us. You can see we're based up here, so I'm actually quite happy with this. So this is one of the structures, but any structure you see in the plains, any big buildings or towers or anything like that, go and check them out, because they might just have the runestone in that location. But I thought I'd show the one I found in this world. Now, over here, we have another small plain structure that you can find, and again, I found this on stream, and there were Fulings inside, so do be careful when going up to it. But the little purple glow is something you can actually see from quite a distance, and if you see that, you know that you have yourself a Fuling Totem. So let's have a little run around here. We can go and pick this one up, and this is actually the 5th one. So as well as finding the totems in the Fuling camps, you can find them in these things. And again, on stream, we raided a few Fuling camps and got all of the totems we needed, apart from this one. And I wanted to leave it in situation so that you guys could see it and know what it looks like in the structure there. So now we're going to go ahead and I'll show you guys a little clip actually of what they look like in a Fuling camp. So this, of course, is a Fuling camp, and you'll have seen these around the plains biomes, and you get them spawning in all different arrangements and things. Not every two are the same, but when you do find one that has a totem in, it'll look like this. So it's got like a little totem pole that it sits on top of, and you just run up and press E to grab it. Now I will say that not all of the Fuling camps will have totems in them, so you'll have to like have a little look around and search for them. Now, as I said before, if you want to see a full guide on how to actually raid these Fuling camps, I have one on my channel a few episodes back in this series. And another thing to mention is if you're just trying to get the totem, you can try to kind of sneak up with a lot of stamina, grab the totem, then run off and simply outrun the Fulings if you want to do it that way. So you don't necessarily have to take down the camp, but this is where you'll find them most often. And as I say, you can find them in those other structures that I showed you just a second ago. I would just also like to quickly point out, you can also get Fuling totems by killing the Fuling berserkers. Although it is a very rare drop, it can happen, so that is another way you can get them. And the actual drop rate for a Fuling berserker to drop a Fuling totem is 10%, and that's whether it's a 0, 1, or 2-star Fuling berserker. So we're now just about done in the plains. We have everything we need. We have the Yagluth location. We also have the 5 totems that are required to spawn him in. So what I'm going to do now is head back to my base and start getting geared up, and I'll take you through all that. We'll talk about the preparation we need to do before we do the Yagluth fight. So when you travel to your Yagluth spawn point, what you want to do is actually run around the spawn of Yagluth a little bit and see what's nearby. So for example, I found a Fuling camp, as you can see just here. Also found a tower structure just off in the distance there, and I went ahead and raided this camp, made sure all the Fulings there were killed, and similarly with the tower, made sure I killed all of the Fulings that were guarding that tower, and just got like a good idea of what's going on around here. Now the reason you want to do this is obviously you don't want to spawn Yagluth in and then find all of a sudden you've got a Fuling camp that is trying to raid you. The other thing you're going to want to do is set yourself up a safe portal area so that if you need to escape the Yagluth fight you can, or if Yagluth does kill you, you're able to teleport back very quickly. Now I actually used the Fuling camp here. I put a random little door here and we've come in here, and this is my protected portal. Pretty good area to have it because it's already like made for us, and I've got a little chest here as well with stuff. So yeah, I recommend that you do this. Obviously yours may not be in a Fuling camp, so you might want to just make it and protect it with a wooden stake wall or something like that, but definitely have some sort of protected portals so you can get to and from. The other thing I would say is make sure you mark this portal location, because when you're in the heat of battle you might find it difficult to find. For me obviously it's kind of easy because I'm at the Fuling camp, but you may not be, so I recommend you mark it on the map. Then you can use your mini map if you need to make a quick escape. So first up, let's talk about the food that we want to take to the Yagluth fight, and the food that I'm going to go for is going to be the fish wraps, also the lox pie, which I'll come on to in a second, and some serpent stew. And this is really prioritizing health. You can see there 80 and 26, so 80 health, 26 stamina from the serpent stew, 70 and 23 from the fish wraps, and just over here we have one of these cooked lox pie, which will give us another 75 and 24. So we're really going for the health for the Yagluth fight, and I'll show you why that is obviously during the battle. Now in order to make up some of these recipes, you'll need things like barley. So I can show you, actually got some barley just in here that we've made using the barley there. We turn it into the barley flour. Now if you want to see a full tutorial on how to do this, a few episodes ago in this series I did a full guide on that, the barley and flax episode, so you can check that out. But assuming that you know how to do that, in terms of fishing, again I've covered that in a previous episode as serpents. One thing you may not be aware of is you need the iron cooking station in order to cook the serpent meat. So you just go ahead and hang it up there like you would hang meat on a normal cooking stand, but it has to be the iron one. So hopefully that's all the materials covered for these foods, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. As well as the food, you're also going to want to take yourself some meads with you, and the one that I would say is essential is the fire resistance barley wine. This is because many of Yagluth's attacks are going to be fire related, and if you're burning up, then you're going to lose a lot of HP. I'm also going to take the medium healing mead, and I highly recommend this one too, as well as the stamina mead if you can afford it. Now I've only gone with minor stamina mead here because we are not really prioritizing stamina for this fight anyway, so having the medium stamina mead would just be a bit of a waste of resources, as I'm going mainly for the HP as I talked about earlier with the different foods that we're taking. I've covered the other meads before, but just to say, to make up this one, the barley wine fire resistance mead, you just need 10 barley and 10 cloudberries to make up a batch. So that's not too bad, because obviously one of those batches goes into your fermenter. It will actually give you 4 of these meads. So I'm taking 5 with me for the fight. I think that should be plenty. We will find out together when I do this later, but I also have lots more saved in here if I need them. Now in terms of the weapons and armor, let's talk about that briefly. And basically you want to go as geared as you can in your game. Now what I'm taking with me here is mostly actually wolf armor, right? So we're going to go for the wolf cape, the wolf chest, and also the wolf legs. Now yes, if I did full padded it would be better, but if I make the level 1 padded armor, it's actually the same amount of armor, the 26 that you see for each of these 2 items. So basically there's no real advantage to me doing that, and the helmet's the same instantly. The Drake helmet at 26, if we get a padded helmet that's also 26. So the only advantage comes if I can upgrade the padded, and that is going to take a lot of iron, and I didn't want to do an iron run because I don't really think it's necessary before doing Yagluth, and I wanted to get this video out. But of course if you want to do that, then go ahead. There's like a good thing if you do it. Obviously you can get more armor than this, but this is what I'll be taking for this fight. In terms of the weapons, the essential arrows are definitely the frost arrows. There's no debate about this, they're the best in the game. So I've got my fully upgraded Dragger Fang bow here, and I've got the frost arrows, and I'll show you the damage that they do to Yagluth later on when we're fighting him, but for the ranged attack this is definitely the way to go. As you can see, I've got 200 here with me. We'll see how many of those that we actually get through. It's probably a bit too many, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. And for the melee damage, I'm going to be taking with me the Frostener because he is a bit weaker to Frostener. You could also take with you a silver weapon if you want, like a silver sword, but I've got a fully upgraded Frostener, so I thought that'd be a good one to take with me. As for the shield, you can see I'm taking with me here the black metal shield. If you really wanted to go for as much damage protection as possible, you can take the black metal tower shield. However, it will require grinding out loads of wraith killing, as you need a lot of chains to make that and upgrade it. So I decided to go with this one, but again, you guys may want to upgrade. You can see how I do this fight and sort of tailor it to your own playstyle. I just wanted to talk about, obviously, like what I'm taking with me and some of the things that you guys may want to take with you. Now, when it comes to the boss ability for the Yagluth Fight, there's no two ways about it. You just definitely want to have your bone mass available. Obviously, some of Yag's attacks can do massive damage. In one attack, he can do 140 damage. So that's why we're going to be wanting to have the best armor we can get, and that's why bone mass is the only boss power that makes any sense. Then finally, before you set off to do the Yagluth Fight, I highly recommend that you sleep. Again, you don't want to be in the plains at night time if you can avoid it during this fight, and also get your rested buff to the maximum possible. So make sure you've got all the comfort items available to you around your bed, so you get that rested buff for as long as possible while you're fighting Yagluth. Okay guys, you can see I am now fully prepared. I've got my food, I've got my totems. We're going to need obviously 5 of them. Oh, and there's a couple of Fulings here and a locks. All right, let me take care of these guys, and then I will be actually prepared. All right, there were several locks, several Fulings, and a few Defsquitos. But with all that dealt with, I think now I can finally do this. So let's go ahead and press 4 to put all these totems in. There's all 5 of them. Then when you're ready, just press E on that, and here comes the big guy, the Yagluth monster himself. Let's actually get back behind here. We're going to use these stone pillars to protect us quite a bit, so let's get behind a nice big one here. See where he's spawning in, try and get a few good shots off on him. Obviously we want our bone mass as well, so let's go ahead and get that activated. And is there anyone over there? Yep, there he comes. Let's see if we get some shots off at him straight away here. And yes, we can. So obviously we want to make the most of this period here before he starts to come and try to kill us. Okay, so here comes some of his meteors. Again, being behind this definitely helped us. That's his fire breath attack. You definitely don't want to get in the way of that, obviously. But that's why we have the fire potion as well. So I'm going to drink one of those right now. So I've got resistance. Just wanted to wait until he was like definitely in and spawned and stuff. So we were using it when he's actually going to get us. So right now you can see here, we can just kind of shoot him. He's going to chase us around here a little bit. and it's slow, but we are getting some damage done on him. The thing with Yagluth is it's probably the fight against the boss where you need to be the most patient, because you don't have loads of stamina, or at least, you know, doing it the way that I'm suggesting, so you've got the HP to deal with his attacks, you know, and different things that are going to happen. And so you are going to need to do a lot of just like taking hits on him and stuff like that. Okay, you see here his hand is glowing, and then he forces it downwards. That's his like attack where it does an AoE damage, and you want to obviously get out the way of that one as best as you can. So we're going to try and get out the way here if we can. He does quite a long build up, and then he's bringing down the meteors. So again, we're trying to get away and get behind these pillars as best as we can. And then we're going to come at him here. He looks like he's about to maybe breathe fire. No, maybe not. Okay, he's doing his AoE. So again, get out the way of that, and then we can go in and wail on him. This is the frost and the damage. You can see here how much this does. So it is quite good. Obviously, a lot better than the frost arrows. But you have to use a combination of both, really. Okay, so again, he's summoning some stuff here right now. Looks like there might be some meteors coming. So we're getting behind this pillar. You can see, by the way, this pillar, it does take damage. So you may have to switch pillars during the fight. Just depends, you know, on how much damage it takes before you manage to kill him. So you see I've been burning up quite a lot here. This is why we definitely need the fire resistance mead to give us a good chance. And you see also the damage I'm taking, which is why we need to make sure that we have a decent amount of the armor and good food and that sort of thing. Now, he is quite slow to turn, so if you can get behind him, you can actually go and get a good few hits on him while he's sort of turning around at times. He does turn around and try to sort of attack you. So when he's turning, I've found that I'm able to get a good few hits in on him. And we're just going to be repeating the process, really, guys. Hide him behind the pillars. I like to melee him more often than anything else because the arrows are so slow in comparison. Once you learn his attacks a bit as well, you can get some good melee hits in on him. You see here as he's turning around there, it's a good opportunity to hit him. So we get maybe another 3 and then get out of the way here. And I think now it might be the meteors coming. It's like summoning those in. And again, the pillars here are our friends protecting us. What about 115 health right now? If I drop to anything close to like 100 or below, that's when I'll probably use my health potion. It just depends on obviously what armor you're using and what method of fighting him, that sort of thing as well. So when I'm doing my attacks, I'm going to use the potion here right now. I'm basically going in, taking some shots at him, and then getting out the way and waiting for the opportune moment again. That's where the patience comes in. So right now we're over here. While we're over here waiting for him to come over to us, this is a chance to use some more frost arrows if we want to shoot at him. Doesn't do tons of damage, but if you're landing maybe 10 of them, it's about the same as doing like a decent melee hit. So obviously, if you're doing nothing else, you just as well have a go at that. That was his fire breath, by the way, that came out there. I wasn't quick enough to get out of the way of that one. I was too worried about shooting with the arrows. But now that he's back over, I'm wait for my stamina to come back up. And obviously while these meteors are coming, it's a good time to sort of hide from him. So just hide in here. He should be around here now. And we want to try and get as close as we can to him with full stamina, so that when we come in here, we can really try and block that. We can really give him as many hits as we possibly can. And I find about 3 full goes through, so 3 hits is usually good. That time I was just about able to get 4, but it's a bit risky. I'm with him for a little bit longer than I'd like to be. So now here comes the meteors again, so we're going to hide behind here. So yeah, about 3, sometimes 4, depending on how you go. Now be careful as well and be sensible. You see here where I've used my health mead, I've got a minute cooldown still left on that. When it starts, I think it's around 2 minutes. It will show you obviously on the screen anyway. While that's on, okay, there's Fulings here now. So if this happens to you guys, heavily recommend that you take care of these dudes as a priority. Just get rid of them as quickly as you can, and then give yourself some time away from him. Okay, there's still one there. Let's see if we can get this dude. There we go. Yeah, so you definitely want to take care of those pretty quickly. You want your focus to be purely on Yagluth throughout the fight. So as I was saying about the cooldown of the mead, do be careful with that, and don't put yourself in a vulnerable position when you're not able to use another mead for quite some time, because obviously the mead can be literally a lifesaver, and obviously if you start to try to attack Yagluth at the wrong time and you get into trouble, you want to have that mead available to you. And obviously keep checking your food throughout the fight, and as soon as you're able to eat more food, make sure that you do. And if we keep wailing on him here, I think we're going to be able to kill him in this moment. Can't really see what I'm doing. One more hit. Yes, there we go. Yagluth has... Wait. Oh no, I'm going to die. No. Please. No. Oh, that's such a bittersweet moment. I killed him and died all in one go. I sort of risked it a bit at the end there because I knew that in just a couple more hits he was going to die, and I thought I could get him, but then obviously his after effect with the fire and thunder and stuff meant that I died as well. That's kind of sad. I almost did the Yagluth fight without dying. That's like the worst way for that to happen. Okay, naked run for the win. Let's see if we get our stuff back. Okay, here I am. I think I can get my stuff back. We've got the Yagluth placeholders here, the Yagluth things, and the Yagluth trophy. Let's take all of our stuff. Let's get our clothes back on. and I kind of don't want to eat. I want to save this food because it's such good food, and I definitely want to come back later, by the way, and pick up all of this stone. I recommend you guys look to do the same. A couple things you could do. I mean, first of all, you can see here all the stone that's going to drop already from these pillars just that have been attacked here. You know, you're going to get a lot of that, but you can come back and pick up the rest later, and even maybe have a good whack at these as well, or spawn Yagluth back in to have another go at them and sort of use him as a stone farming method in the future. Right now, I just want to get back to base, and then we'll talk about what Yagluth power does and all this sort of aftermath of killing Yag. So just to show you, we're back at the Yagluth area here. You can see all this damage that's been done. If we go ahead and hit away at these, there's already a lot of damage done, so it's going to be easy to sort of mine away at this. And if you mine all the way underneath this and break down all the bits connected to the floor, eventually this whole thing will crumble, and you will get a ton of stone. So I just wanted to mention that, as stone is obviously a really useful late game building resource, so that is one way that you can get a lot of it. The Yagluth drops we get, of course, are... Wait, I don't have pants on. I didn't do that on purpose. That was... okay, anyway. Yagluth trophy there. We get one of those, and we also get 3 of the Yagluth things. So the Yagluth trophy, let's talk about that first. We go to the Yagluth place at spawn, and we go ahead and hook that item on. There we go. You see there it says damage modifier. You get resistance against fire, frost, and lightning. Now this resistance will reduce the damage effects taken by 50 to 75%, depending on the amount of armor that you're wearing. So the maximum reduction, it says here on the wiki, is reached when the armor value is at least half of the incoming raw damage. Now, basically this means if you're going to fight Yagluth again, you would use this instead of bone mass, right? So that's something to think about. Also, if you fight against Moda or even Eikthyr, this can be useful, you know, in those fights as well, obviously with the frost and the lightning. Not that at this point Eikthyrs will be particularly difficult, but still worth mentioning as it is part of the Yagluth's abilities. I have to say, it's really awesome to have the full team here now at spawn, and it's looking pretty cool. Of course, at some point I'm going to have to kill all these again so I can hang these trophies up in my base, but for now I'm definitely going to take having these things here. Now, also, you'll notice, of course, you do get the Yagluth thing. So it says here, placeholder item for Yagluth item drop. So basically, right now, this doesn't do anything, which is a little bit upsetting, right? But bear in mind, in the future, this will, of course, do things, and I'm sure that when they do the update, this item will automatically convert in our current worlds. At least I hope so, or there's a way of getting it to actually do something with it. But that's what we get from killing Yagluth. Incidentally, I just tested, and we cannot attach the Yagluth to either a horizontal or a vertical item stand. I thought that would have been quite cool if we could have, but unfortunately, that is not a thing. So there is literally nothing really that you can do with it at this stage. But hey, it looks cool. It's shiny and blue. So yeah, enjoy that. So a few of you may be wondering, now that I've killed Yagluth, does that mean that the Valheim guide series is about to end? And I have to say, absolutely not. We have a lot left to do in this world. I have big plans in this world still, and I feel like I'm just getting started. Honestly, I wanted to kill all 5 bosses because I knew that was an important part of this guide, but to me, another important part of Valheim is building. I really enjoyed this build project that we did right here. Obviously, a lot of this I do on streams, but the streams are right here on YouTube, so if you want to catch those, obviously you can, you know, subscribe or go to my Discord, link in the description, join the notification squad, whatever you need to do if you want to see these, and they're also uploaded to my channel after I've streamed. I've also started work on this project right here. I'll give you a little teaser of this. We've got this storage room being built, and you can see here the sort of level of storage we've got going on here. This is like the bulk storage over here, then the finer details here, and we'll have some work areas around here, so if we want to craft this storage, we can do that. These things here are like temporary, as I say. It's a little sneak peek. This isn't finished yet. It's a work in progress, and I do plan on doing a lot of building as part of this series, not just on streams, but also making episodes, and they might be a bit longer, those episodes, I'm not sure, but where we do some building things together. So hopefully you guys are down for that as well. I love building in Valheim. I think it's something in the game that's a bit underrated at the moment and needs to be thought about a lot more, because I do think it's really fun to do, and you can build some awesome things if you have the time to get all the resources and stuff like that. So the dad jokes are coming, guys. Obviously, you know this, but for now, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. How does Yagluth like to travel? In planes. Why is Yagluth scared of Vikings? Because he's got no guts. What did Yagluth dress up as for Halloween? Himself. Why can't Yagluth take off his crown? Because it's sticky. Why do people always think Yagluth is drunk? Because he's legless. Why couldn't Yagluth be bothered to fight? He was feeling a bit burnt out.